What is up, YouTube? This is 3D of the Well Squad here, bringing you my first deck profile. Today's video we'll be going over Dinomist, what they do, and what they're made to do, all their effects, and basically is whatever I do with this deck. Keep in mind this is an update from after the Shining Victories release, so there are some slight changes to this deck, and let's go and get on with this. Now, for starters, I do run triple Terran. For those who are unfamiliar with the Dinomist, basically it's a scale 3. Their scale 3 is whenever a Dinomist monster, well, whenever a Dinomist card is destroyed by battle or card effect, I can destroy him instead and prevent the destruction of that card. And he's an 1800 attack and level 4, so you shouldn't have no problems. And basically, we do run triple Plesio. Plesio is the scale 6. Basically, this deck is basically scale 3s and scale 6s. So you can summon all your monsters since they're 4 and 5s. But Plesio, his scale effect is whenever a card that targets another Dominus card except for himself, he can destroy himself and negate the target. So basically, that's all he does. But monster effect wise, he decreases the attack and defense of all other monsters your opponent controls by 100 attack and defense per Dominus card you control. So you get triple him out, it's pretty much game over. Now for the last of the level 4s, we have one Stegosaur. Stegosaur, they all have the same scale effects. Scale 3s is destruction, and scale 6s are targets. So that's just an easy way to learn how they are. But whenever during the end of the damage step, when a Dominus monster battles another opponent's monster, you can activate his effect to pop that monster and your Dominus monster. So basically, that's what he does. So I only run one of him. I don't really get much use out of him. We do run for the level 5s double Ceratops. Ceratops is basically has a Cyber Dragon effect. If I control a monster or a Dominus monster other than Ceratops himself, I can special summon him from hand. So he's good to go into like rank 5 plays and all that. And 2100 attack points, so obviously some resemblance to Cyber Dragon himself. We also do triple Brachion. If your opponent controls a monster with the highest attack and you control and you don't control a Dominus Brachion on the field, you can special summon him from hand. So basically, more ways to go into rank 5 plays. We do triple Rex. Basically, what Rex does is during the end of the damage step, you contribute one Dominus monster other than himself and activate 2 effects. One of which is he can attack again, and if the monster is in defense position, he can do piercing. Basically, you just inflict the difference between his attack and the monster's defense. And the other effect is I can shuffle one card on the field or in the hand at random to the deck, and he gains 100 attack permanently. So that's an easy way to bump up his attack if you want to. Now, for the last of the Dinomist, we do triple Plesio. Basically, Plesio is a way better upgrade from Rex. You can tribute a monster to either have him attack twice or attack directly, but you can tribute two monsters to get both his effects. So you can just attack your opponent directly for 5k. So you can't go wrong with that. So, and for the last of the monsters, we run Double Flying C. Basically, when your opponent summons a monster, you can special summon this monster in defense mode to your opponent's side of the field, and they will not be able to XZ summon. So, mainly I side them in for, or keep them in for mirror matches and say Centaur Knights and Pepe's, all that. But normally he gets sided out, so that's all for the monsters. We're going to go into traps, or my bad, spells. We do double power load. Power load is the field spell. All Dinomist monsters gain 300 attack and defense, and if a Dinomist monster battles, your opponent cannot activate card effects. So basically, if they attack or if you attack, they can't activate their effects. So you can't go wrong with that, but it has to be on the field. We run a mandatory triple charge. So long as I can do that right. When you activate this card, you can search for a Dinomist monster to add to your hand. So it's like easy way to get either a 4 or 5 into your hand. And whenever a monster will be destroyed and goes to the extra deck, you can return one of those targets to the hand, but that's once per turn and mandatory, so you don't really get a choice in that matter. We also do double ignite reload. Reload, basically, you reveal however many pendulum monsters you want to shuffle back into the deck, shuffle, and draw that many plus 1. So it's a good card if your opponent like tries to mind crush you. Just hopefully you don't get back the card that he calls. And we do double MST. Target one spell trap and destroy it. So, and one limiter removal. Basically, limiter removal doubles attack of all machine monsters that you control, but they get destroyed at the end of the turn. But you can still destroy your scale 3 to prevent this card's destruction, so that's all good. We also do one terraforming to hopefully thin out the deck and hurry up and get your power load into your hand. Basically, terraforming gets to search out a field spell. And for the last of the spells, we run one Raigeki. Basically, if you want to go for OTK, this card destroys all monsters on your opponent's side of the field. So now for the last part of the deck traps, we do run a triple rush. Rush allows you to special summon one Dinomist monster from your deck to the field, and if so, it's unaffected by card effects. But it gets destroyed at the end of the turn or the end phase, depending on the wording. And you can activate one per turn. So we do double Pendulum Reborns. Basically, if you go for Xyz plays and your monsters are in the grave, he allows you to special summon a Pendulum monster from your grave or your extra deck. So that's always good. We do double Storm and Mirror Forces. Basically, when your opponent's monster attacks, you send those type position monsters back to your opponent's hand. So we do one Bottomless Trap Hole. Basically, when a monster is summoned, or monsters, it has an S in it, so you can do that to a pendulum summon. You get to destroy those monsters, and if you do, they get banished. So that's a good way to stop pendulum players, but unfortunately it's limited, that I recall. And for the last card in the deck, we do one Solemn Warning. Basically, negate the special summon or spell trap that could special summon a monster, but you pay 2,000 life points. So that's it for the main deck. And right now we're going to do the extra deck. We do one Abyss Dweller. All the Dinomists are water monsters, so basically all your monsters gain 500 attack and defense because of this, and you can detach the activate's effect to where your opponent can't activate anything in the grave that turn. So that's always good. We won one Castell. Basically, you can detach two monsters to target a card and shuffle it back to the deck. So that's his main use. We do run one Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Basically, you detach to target one monster on your opponent's side of the field, cut his current attack in half, and he gains that permanently. So, but yeah, Ghost Rare. And it's the only Ghost Rare I have, unfortunately, so yeah. Now, this deck is made to go into rank 5, so obviously you're going to have a Cyber Dragon Infinity. Hopefully you pulled one of these so you can abuse this in this deck. Basically, during your turn, you can target one monster on the field and add that monster as XP material to Cyber Dragon Infinity. And during either player's turn, if monster effect or basically if card is activated, you can detach one material and negate it. And he gains 200 attack and defense for every XP materials you have. Now, in order to go into this, we have to do double Nova for a safety reason. Basically, I don't use Nova for its effect, so yeah. We do one Daigusto Emerald. He is a late game card if I want to detach and target 3 effect monsters in my grave and shuffle them back into the deck, and I get to draw, what was it? Draw 1 card. That's his main use if I want to keep on going. Gaga Cowboy, basically he ends games depending on if your monster is, or if your opponent is at 800 or less attack, like points. You detach one and inflict 800 points of damage, and just end the game like that. One Volcasaurus, you can detach either 1 or 2 depending on, because I can't really remember this effect, to target one monster, pop it, or destroy it, and if you do, inflict the original attack of that monster to your opponent's life points. But he can't attack the turn it's summoned. One Heartland Draco, basically detach one, he can attack your opponent directly, but no other monsters can attack. And he can't be targeted for attacks if you control a spell card, so he's good in a Pendulum deck. One Saw Honor Arc. Basically, he's a watered down version of Cyber Infinity. Detach 2, target one monster and add him as exceeds material, and if he were to be destroyed, I can detach one exceed material. One crazy box. He's there because if I need a protection from if he has a beat stick out, so that's what he's there for. I don't really use his monster effect. And one Ragnazero. Ragnazero, you can detach one exceeds material, hop one monster, or destroy one monster on your opponent's side of the field with attack different from its original, and if you do, you get to draw a card. So that's a quick effect, so you can do that on our player's turn. Basically, that's my deck and my extra deck to go along with that. Thank you for viewing this, and please like, share, and subscribe, and stay safe out there. GG.